Live from Orlando at CCA Florida headquarters, it's the 2020 edition of Star Search with your host, Captain Lisa Fitzgerald, and Star's right-hand girl, skipper Amanda Kirpin. Tonight, enjoy special guests, live interviews, tips and tricks on how you can succeed in Star, and chances to win special prizes. Now, here's your host, Captain Lisa.
Well, good evening once again, and welcome to tonight's episode of Star Search with updates on the Star Competition presented by Yamaha. First, I want to say many prayers and thoughts go out to our friends in Texas and Louisiana. And we hope that all of you watching tonight will keep them in our thoughts and prayers. And we hope everyone in Texas and Louisiana stays safe. Now, tonight, it's all about Snook, except for a little heartbreak to report. Star still has not had an iHeartRadio tagged Redfish winner. What's up with that? But first, let me introduce my co-host, CCA's Regional Director of the Panhandle, and our skipper, Amanda Kirpin.
Thanks, Lisa. Thanks to everyone tuning in to our weekly broadcast of Star Search. If you're tuning in and then you're fishing at some point this summer, I hope you are registered for Star. Are your friends? Because remember, friends don't let friends go fishing without getting registered for Star. There's $500,000 in prizes to be won in the 16 other divisions, so it's not just about that tagged redfish. But I do want to remind everyone that once again, this is a live stream, which means we want it to be interactive and we want to hear from you. So get on here, comment. We want to hear from you. Hi, Donna. Hi, Nancy. Like, comment, and share this Facebook live feed and be entered to win some great prizes tonight. The winners are going to be drawn at the end of our live broadcast. Now, we have a couple updates and information to share on tonight's show. But before we get into that, Lisa, I heard you had a big weekend this past weekend.
You know what? I did, Amanda. And I have to say, one of the great perks, and I call it psychological compensation, for working with CCA and Star, is that I was at the Flagler Sport Fishing Club Fishing Classic this weekend in Flagler Beach. And the club actually had us come in, and they are providing an incentive for these anglers to release their redfish alive. We brought tanks in. We set our tanks up, and then we had the anglers. Normally, these tournaments, anglers bring in their fish on ice, and we wanted them to bring them in alive so that we could release them. This tournament, we released 20 redfish and 2 huge trout. I had the regional director from that area. There are our tanks. I had the regional director from that area set it up with me, and we released 2 huge. There's Sarah with some redfish, but we released 2 very large trout. And to date, over on the east coast of Florida, with all of the tournaments that we've been involved with, which is the Ancient City Tournament, the Flagler Sport Fishing Club, and many other tournaments over there, we have released over 400 fish back into those coastal waters alive. And the importance of that is that in a tournament, we're looking for that biggest redfish that is closest to the top of the slot. Once they reach the top of the slot, those fish actually become breeders. That's why we stop at that 27 inches. So those fish that we're releasing, within months, they're going to be breeders, and they're reestablishing redfish populations on the east coast of Florida. And that's how we sustain our resources. And it's a great opportunity for myself, for CCA, and for anglers to be able to get involved in something like that. So please remember, total is over 400 redfish throughout the state of Florida that we've actually had the opportunity to save, resuscitate, and release and put back into the coastal waters. So we are encouraging catch, photo, release competitions, but if we can't get you to do that, it takes baby steps. We'll start out with a live weigh-in. bringing in your fish alive, letting us resuscitate them, and putting them back into the coastal waters. If you guys have a tournament and you want to go from a weigh-in where the fish come in on ice to a weigh-in where they come in alive, contact us at info@ccaflorida.org, and we'll work with you to bring our tanks and to see how we can help you do the same kind of thing. Resuscitate is a tough word, but not resuscitating is even something more tough on our fisheries and our fish stocks. So now let's not forget about all of our other species, and it's not just the redfish that can win you prizes in the STAR competition.
Well, thank you, Lisa. That's such a great, fun-looking weekend that you and Sarah had at the tournament in Flagler. So thank you for all of your hard work for that tournament. Now, we have had an awesome week of STAR entries and many STAR stories to tell. So we have a few photos we'd like to share, but remember, we love hearing from you. So submit your photos, videos, or written testimonials to info@ccaflorida.org. And if we use your story, we're going to send you a STAR prize pack. Now, our first photo is from Lynn. She says she's looking for that redfish, that tagged redfish, but she was just happy catching the trout as well this past week. So thank you, Lynn, for sending that in. And our next one, this is Maisie. She's showing off her first ever redfish that she's caught. And she was so excited, she had to give it a kiss.
And there she is. Yeah, with her measuring device. Go, Maisie.
Thank you for sending those in. Again, share us your STAR stories by sending them to info@ccaflorida.org. Now, you can see a lot of great photos of all the different species that we've submitted, and it only takes one fish to earn your share at $500,000 in prizes. So if you're fishing at all the rest of this summer and you know you need to be registered for STAR because you could be our next winner. It's so much fun to have a goal in mind when you go out on the water and catch a fish. You take a photo, you enter it into the STAR Tournament app, you pick up that floating trash or those water bottles that you see on the shoreline, and you fill a 5-gallon bucket full of garbage and you enter it into the Costa Kick Plastic Trash Division. We know that everyone thinks you have to catch a tagged redfish to win, but that is not the case, is it, Lisa? Each of the open inshore divisions, snook, trout, non-tagged redfish, have boats as first place prizes as well.
You know, that's right, Amanda. And besides the Contender, Pathfinder, Carolina Skiff, and the Hughes Redfisher, you could win a new Saltmarsh Skiff in the TH Marine Open Non-Tagged Redfish Division, or a Carolina Skiff in the Open Trout Division, or a new Piranha Boat Skiff in the Piranha Boats Open Snook Division. All of these boats are powered by Yamaha and sitting on a trailer. You know, we wouldn't be Florida's largest fishing competition where we can offer all these awesome prizes without our wonderful partners and sponsors. You know, they are the reason we can give away nearly $500,000 in prizes and scholarships. And the prizes include Yamaha motors, marine electronics, tackle, sunglasses, coolers, and so much more. So, Amanda, I'm sending it right back to you.
Well, yes, we are so thankful for all of our great partners, as well as all the participants in STAR each year. And I want to remind everyone we will be having a question and answer segment at the end of the show, as always. So please type your questions into the comment section on Facebook, and we're going to try our very best to answer them at the end of the show. Remember that if you have a high privacy setting on Facebook, sometimes we cannot see your questions. But if you still have any questions, visit our ccaflstar.com website. A lot of questions can be answered there, or send them to info@ccaflorida.org.
Amanda, I bet you have caught a snook, right?
Oh yeah, love catching.
Isn't it cool that even though snook season is closed, and for a good portion of the West Coast, it's going to be closed for another full year, that we have the opportunity to target snook knowing that you could win a new piranha boat just for catching a minimum size snook. That's right. Any snook over 28 inches can be photographed on or with the 2020 West Marine official measuring device and submitted. That's one entry per day into the Piranha Boats Snook division. Even from a kayak, you can enter in the Snook division. At the end of the competition, we will draw from all of the eligible entries for a Piranha Boat 14 RAS with a Yamaha and trailer. We draw a total of 6 places, first through 6th, and it is not the biggest fish that wins. So all the entries have a shot at winning a prize. There is no upper slot limit. There is no upper slot limit, and all additional snook that you catch can be entered in the Power Pole Conservation Division. We do care very much about the health of our fish. So something I want you to remember is when you're handling those fish, they have sharp gill plates, so be very careful how you handle them. Don't get your hands inside their gills. Leave them in the net while you're waiting to get your picture all set up. Try to wet your measuring device. Take the time to really get a good picture of that fish. Get it back in the water. Put it back in the net. We even want you to suggest the area where you're taking the photo of the fish. Wet the deck if you're going to put it on the deck, because I can tell you, when you walk on it with bare feet, it's hot. It's also hot for that fish when you lay that fish on the deck. Please remember, the nose must be facing the 0 line of the measuring device. You may have seen some of the pictures where they're holding the measuring device in their teeth and holding the fish. The nose is to the 0 line. So just remember. And the byproduct of going out and trying to catch snook is that it can happen to you. Just ask those 17 anglers who caught a tagged redfish, but were not members and not registered for the Star competition. They did not get their choice of a brand new Contender, a Pathfinder, a Carolina Skiff, or a Hughes Redfisher, all powered by Yamaha and sitting on a trailer. So there's our Carolina Skiff. There are some really great boats for catching iHeartRadio tagged redfish, but there are also some great boats in the other divisions as well, just as we shared with you in the Piranha Boats Snook division. It's easy. You've just got to get registered and become a member. As Amanda said, friends don't let their friends go fishing without being registered in Star. So make sure that when they get registered, they have their official West Marine Star measuring device on the boat. It has all the rules and instructions you need to successfully submit your catch. Here are some of the redfish that were caught by those 17 anglers who did not get the opportunity to choose which boat they wanted. As the first angler who catches an iHeart tagged redfish gets the opportunity to choose from all the fish and then on down the line. So even though we're talking about the iHeartRadio tagged redfish, I want to remind all of you, it's every fish that you catch can be submitted and has the potential to win and earn you great prizes. So how many fish entries have we had in Star so far? Almost 20,000 entries. How many registered anglers do we have? We now have over 6,200, but that's still not enough. Everybody needs to be telling their friends and getting them registered. And how many trash entries do we have? I'm mind boggled. We have over 2,400 trash entries collected. That's 1,000 more than last year. And I'm going to tell you, thanks so much. I want to really thank our trash anglers who have participated in the trash division. And those trash anglers, John Nooney, I am going to give you a huge round of applause because John Nooney alone has collected a total of 1,005 pails, 5-gallon buckets full of garbage that he has collected on foot or from his kayak. Derek Snodgrass, way to go, man. You have a 709. Dane Dellenbach, you have 260. Luana Engel, 45. David Gluyas, I know you're watching, and I want to thank you for the 28 buckets that you've entered. Ellen Priest, 25 buckets, and I know that you have your grandkids out there. Katrina Pershing, if you're watching, thank you so much. Lucas Williams, Dennis Mock, Alexander Doth. Brian, you can't let your wife beat you. You've got to get, Brian Pershing, you got to get more 5-gallon buckets in there and on down the line. But thank you so much, everyone, for getting involved with the trash division and entering those 5-gallon buckets. And please remember, the Thrash Can Bucket Topper can earn you an additional $500 cash if you have that bucket topper. See the 5-gallon bucket right there? If you're submitting your trash with a Thrash Can Bucket Topper, you have the opportunity to win additional $500 cash. Also, remember, if your youth needs community service hours, what a great way to get community service hours. 30 minutes for every 5-gallon bucket submitted through the app. And that way we can verify what they have. What do you think about that, Amanda?
I mean, that is incredible. Having already over 1,000 buckets more than last year's competition is already incredible. So thank you to all of our anglers. John Mooney killing it up in the northeast area of Florida, picking up close to 1,000 buckets already on his own. So thank you, John. You are truly an inspiration. So I also wanted to point out a few people were saying, oh my gosh, 17 tagged redfish. Lisa, we had a lot of people this year say they knew about the competition, and caught a tagged redfish, but didn't think it would happen to them. So, I mean, that's kind of a trend that we've been seeing in years past. I had no idea. And now it's, oh, I heard about this, but I didn't sign up.
You know, as I said earlier, it is heartbreaking. Yes, there are just so many anglers now who are like, maybe I'll get registered. Oh gosh, it'll never happen to me. And I know this sounds odd, but you guys, and I keep saying it, you have car insurance. What's the difference between having star insurance? So So let's get some star insurance. It's $75. It is nowhere near as expensive as car insurance. We get star insurance for $75 so that just in case you are on the water and you catch a iHeartRadio tagged redfish, you're registered, you're a CCA member. Now all you have to do is follow the steps and you could win a Contender, a Pathfinder, a Carolina Skipper, a Hughes Redfisher, and who knows what other boats we're going to have next year. But this year, get yourself registered because the first angler gets his choice or her choice of all of the boats.
You are absolutely right. And if you are fishing anywhere in Florida this summer, get registered. You may just catch one of those iHeartRadio tagged redfish or the tagged dolphin that could win you $10,000 cash. I mean, who doesn't want that right now? And in the open divisions, you have the opportunity to enter trout, snook, non-tagged redfish, tarpon, kingfish, dolphin, and grouper, plus all the other species that you can enter into the conservation division. But you have to be registered for STAR because we will award nearly 100 prizes by the end of the competition. And as Lisa said before, it's not the biggest fish that wins, so anglers of all skill levels have the opportunity to win.
Well, you know, Amanda, if an angler catches different species of fish, they can enter in the multiple divisions. However, they can only enter that fish once in one division. So if you catch a snook, we're talking about snook, tonight and you caught it in your kayak, yes, you could enter it in the open division, but you can't also enter it into the kayak division. You would have to catch another snook from your kayak in order to enter it into the division. And it must meet the minimum size requirement, but it doesn't matter on the top of the slot. So please remember, it's one species per division per day, except for the conservation division and the lionfish division. Just a few things to remember when you are submitting your photos. If you're in an area where there's spotty service or not really great service, give the app time to communicate and get your photo, because if they don't get that photo and you resubmit, I will have to disqualify the duplicate photo. You do have 24 hours from the time that you catch the fish. So if you take the picture and you get back home, sit back, mix yourself a Devil's River whiskey, Papa's Pilar, sit back, enjoy, get your photos and get them entered. But please, no more than 24 hours to submit the photo. I would make sure when I'm taking my pictures that the nose of the fish is facing the zero line. It is not eligible if the nose is in the opposite direction. We have $500,000 in prizes and scholarships to award. $100,000 in youth scholarships this year. 2 $25,000 scholarships and 10 $5,000 scholarships just for kids going out and catching fish. And there's lots of different species that they can enter. But with what we have going on currently, without having organized sports and camps, it is a great way to keep your youth occupied by giving them that opportunity to get on the water catching fish. But I'm going to tell you, a lot of the parents are telling me their kids are having more fun just by picking up trash than catching fish, because it's almost like Easter egg hunting. They're hunting for the trash. I again want to thank all of our partners, because they truly believe, our sponsors believe in STAR, and together we have helped the future of our sport, the preservation of our habitat, and the conservation of our marine resources.
And Lisa, speaking of winners, when will our winners get awarded their prizes, and who can attend the awards ceremony?
Well, who wants to miss a great party? I'm going to invite everyone. Everyone is invited. At this point, we have about 400 seats. Hopefully COVID won't change that for us, but right now it's 400. It is October the 17th that we have our awards ceremony. Tickets will be available in September on our website. We will be in Punta Gorda at the fairgrounds, and it is sponsored by Punta Gorda Englewood Beach Visitor and Convention Bureau. We are going to have a trop rock band. That's tropical rock, more Jimmy Buffett-esque. So wear your flowered shirts, Amanda, your flowered hats, flip-flops, and the coolest ensemble is going to win something. So have fun, come to the event, prepared to have a great time. All of our first place prize winners and our scholarship winners will receive 2 complimentary tickets, and everyone else can purchase their tickets online. Please remember, we still have the STAR measuring devices available, and you can find them on our website. And the competition isn't over until October 4th. So we look forward to seeing all of you there.
And don't forget, the CCAFLstar.com website has all the up-to-date information about these important dates and more. And stay updated through social media, our Facebook page that you're watching on right now, and our Instagram page is probably the best and fastest way that we're getting information out when there are fish caught or hopefully a winner within the next week. We're going to be announcing there first. Now, let's talk about some upcoming important CCA dates. Again, we have Star Search every Wednesday at 8 p.m. We've been doing it for a couple months now. Winner's Choice Wednesday happens every Wednesday at 7 a.m. Tickets go on sale. They're $20 each. We limit them to 100 entries. If you are chosen as the winner, you get your choice of 34 different prizes. And those are inflatable paddleboards, Traeger grills, jewelry. There's some really great prizes to choose from. Now, next week, we're having our next Coastal Social. It's going to be on Thursday, September 3rd. It's going to be on the CCA Florida Facebook page at 8 p.m. It's going to have a live auction. We're going to have a live performance from a certain country music artist, which is going to be very cool. And we are going to be drawing the winner of our 1970 Chevrolet Chevelle car raffle. This car is donated by Boniface Hires Automotive Group, and tickets are starting at just $25. So get your tickets in, buy those tickets at lovethefish.com. You can buy your tickets, and we're going to be drawing the winner next week live. So make sure you mark your calendar and you join us at 8 p.m. next Thursday on the CCA Florida Facebook page. Speaking of some new news, so Lisa's modeling it right now. A lot of people have asked, how can I get one of these star jerseys? They are available if you go to the ccaflorida.org website. That's our CCA website. And you navigate to the store tab. You can purchase one of these star jerseys. It's going to be all decked out with all of our sponsors' logos, just like this. Lisa models it all the time whenever she's traveling around the state. Yes, thank you. Work it, work it. Yes, thank you, Lisa. These are available on the CCA store starting now. They are cut and sewed to order. So make sure that you give about 3 weeks lead time. If you order tonight, you'll get it in about 3 weeks. So it does take quite a while to get these out to you. So order them while you can.
And so Amanda, just to let you know, there are women's and men's shirts. So ladies, you know how your shirts don't fit well often? These are women's shirts. They're tailored. They fit beautifully. Great sleeve length. And guys, they fit you pretty well as well.
And I think the men's even go up to 5XL. So we have
yes, they do.
Sizing for everyone. And women's, I believe, goes to 3XL.
Yes.
So I see a lot of people are already excited. So get them while you can. We have the link. The CCA Florida Star Tournament web person has just put the link in the comments. So after Star Search, go ahead and browse our website. All right, so speaking of raffle winners, we were talking about the car raffle. I believe we have some raffle winners tonight that we need to announce. Mike Bennett, Kenneth Clommer, and Pamela Clifford Payon. I hope I said all that.
I think I know most of those people too. So congratulations, everyone, on your win. You'll be getting your prizes soon.
Perfect. We're going to have someone comment on your comments with my contact information, so you can go ahead and email me and we will get your prize to you as soon as possible. Lisa, are you ready for a question and answer?
I am. I'm excited.
All right, let's see our first question. How do you determine who wins the other boats?
So each division, for instance, the TH Marine, the Piranha boats that we talked about tonight, and the Carolina Skiff, all of those, again, are a random draw of all of the entries in the division. So if you enter in the non-tagged redfish, every entry that you make into the non-tagged redfish gives you the opportunity to be drawn for a new salt marsh skiff. Same way, every snook entry that you make gives you the opportunity to win the Piranha boat, and every trout entry that you make into the trout open division gives you the opportunity to win a Carolina Skiff, all powered by Yamaha. There are some other boats. Salt Marsh is also doing a Savannah that is being given away in the Kingfish division. These are all random drawings. So the more fish you catch, the more entries you make, the greater your opportunity to be drawn as a winner. Remember, There's first through sixth place, and there's some really great prizes in second and third place. You have power poles, you have marine electronics from Minn Kota, you have trolling motors, props, Costa sunglasses, Engel coolers, Danco pliers, you name it. If you look on the website, you can see the first through sixth place prizes, and they're pretty significant.
They're pretty great. All right, our next question comes from Joe. A bunch of tagged reds harvested this year from people not noticing the tag. Do you think the color of the tag has anything to do with that?
You know, Joe, good question. However, the color of the tag was orange. Years past, we've had similar situations. What happens is those tags get covered with a light green slime. And I think, quite frankly, it has to do more with people not, and no disrespect to any of the anglers who have caught these fish, but not paying close enough attention to the fish that they're catching. When you catch a fish, if you're going for dinner, it really doesn't, someone might not really care about that fish. It's just going to go in the cooler. If you're more engaged in the sport and thinking about that fish, you might see oftentimes that slimy thing can look like a parasite. So unfortunately, I think it's just an oversight on people's part. I just don't think that there's nothing we can do to keep the slime from growing on these tags. I just think people need to pay closer attention to what they're catching.
It happens every year, no matter what.
Every year.
All right, John says, are you inshore grouper eligible for the grouper division?
John, if you catch an inshore grouper that is of legal minimum size, that fish is eligible. Any inshore grouper that are under the slot may be photographed and entered into the Power Pole Conservation Division.
So there's some strategy here.
Yes.
All right. CCA Florida Star Tournament. I caught the tiniest little snooklet this weekend. It was 8 inches. That's so cute.
What, that's a snook that still has milk on its lips, as we would say. It is quite a great accomplishment, first of all, but second of all, it's a true testament to the fact that our estuaries are recuperating. I'm not sure where you are, Danette, but I would imagine you're either in Southeast or Southwest Florida. And that is a true testament to the fact that we have fish regenerating and repopulating our areas.
No Chevy pickup truck this year.
Unfortunately, it has been a GMC truck for the last couple of years, but with everything that went down with COVID, the big truck companies did not choose to participate this year, but we hope to have a truck for next year.
Fingers crossed. Ray wants to know, how about lizardfish when we talked about those other species?
Well, Ray Markham, I know you can catch something other than lizardfish, so I'm going to count on you to be entering some snook and some redfish, but lizardfish do count and can be entered into the Power Pole Conservation Division.
All right. Kelly says, my son submitted a few catches. How does he know they were submitted successfully via the app?
So, Kelly, what you can do is go to the ccaflstar.com website. In the top right-hand corner, you will see leaderboard. Select that option. Enter your username and password that you use to access the app. In there, you will see log your catch or catch logs. You will select angler and then filter, and it will show you, you'll put your name in there or your son's name, and it will show you all of his catch logs that have been submitted.
Perfect. Brian asked, did you negotiate any hotel room discount rates in Port Charlotte for the awards banquet?
We're working on that now, Brian. Great question. And we will have someplace cool for you all to stay with negotiated rates.
Trop rock. Woo-hoo. All right, Jerry says the orange on our measuring devices has bleached out and no longer shows the orange. Is this still good?
Yes, sir, because I can still tell that it is the 2020 measuring device by the first front portion of the device. So thank you, Jerry. I noticed that in many of the pictures that you've submitted, and many other anglers have that same situation. You've been spending a lot of time on the water, man.
Are the awards ceremony going to be an outdoor event?
It is currently set up to be an indoor event. However, we are working with Punta Gorda Englewood to see if there is an outside venue so that we may stay in compliance with social distancing and having an event with the number of people we want.
Why aren't the star registrations good for 1 year until the next start of the star tournament, since there are no prizes to win in between?
So your star registration is good until January. You just have to re-register after January 1.
And we have some really cool prizes even before the tournament or the competition starts. So if you catch a previous year's tagged redfish and we're not currently in the competition, you can win a $1,000 Angle prize package. Am I right?
That is exactly correct, Amanda. So you do need to be registered as of January 1 for the new year so that you have the opportunity should you catch a previous year. That's year 16 through 20. If you catch any one of those tags, and we have had many tagged redfish recaptured from previous years, yet people don't get themselves registered.
Gotta get registered. Ellen, sizes are true to size for those star jerseys, and we do have a size chart on our store on the ccaflorida.org website. So there is a size chart if anyone's curious, but it does run true to size.
And they are very comfortable.
Lisa, how long have you been fishing in Florida?
Alex, that's like asking a woman how old she is. So I grew up in Key West fishing, and my first job was catching pinfish. So I'm going to say I've been fishing in Florida nearly 50 years. As a charter boat captain, I have been fishing since and fishing professionally since 1999.
What happens if you accidentally hit the PM and not the AM when you're logging a catch? Is it eligible? One of Robin's dolphin entries is marked wrong.
So Robin, all I would ask is that you email me and I can correct the time on there. If it does not make your catch no longer within the 24-hour period of time, you're still good. But if it does kick you out and it shows you the red bar that says you didn't submit within the time limit and the time constraints of 24 hours, just email me and I'll correct that for you with no problem. My email is lfitzgerald@ccaflorida.org, and Florida is spelled out.
Nope. Sharing is caring, Mom. All right. Joe says, I've entered 9 fish so far this year, but only 6 have showed up on the log. Should every entry show up in the app?
Sometimes, Joe, there is a glitch with the app. Unfortunately, if you're in an area when you submit the catch where you don't have good service, oftentimes it glitches and it doesn't appear in your app. But again, if you'll go to the website, ccaflstar.com, go to the leaderboard tab at the very top right-hand corner, select that, then you will select catch logs You'll enter it with your username and password that you use for the app. Select catch logs, select your angler name, click filter, and it will bring up all of your catch logs, and it should show that you have all total 9 catches.
All right, well said. Let's see our next question. Emmanuel says, thanks for holding this tournament. He's having a lot of fun.
Wonderful, yeah. Emmanuel. Well, tell all your friends, get them all registered. We need more registrations. Share it on your Facebook. Come on, guys. Let's see if we can't break that 7,000 mark.
Yes, and hopefully we have a winner next week to report. All right, so the conservation leader is at 386 catches. You would need to catch 6.8 fish a day every day since the tournament started.
Well, so Emmanuel, just remember, they have the opportunity to enter pinfish, snapper, ladyfish, jacks. I have myself caught 22 snook in one day, all of them being undersized snook. So I can tell you, if you have a seawall, if you have a dock, someone who's doing that, that is the reason we do first through third is a random drawing, and then we do have one place which is the most entries.
Good question. So Anthony asked, this year all the categories require slot size or larger to be reported in the said category, and that's for snook, redfish, kingfish, correct?
So Anthony, that has been every year. It has been required to have the minimum legal size. The only division that you can enter an out of slot or undersized fish would be in the conservation division. That has been for the last 6 years.
All right, for the conservation division, should we still register catfish as a no catch? And I love that picture of the dog.
Oh yeah, James, that is a gorgeous puppy there. Love that fishing dog. Yes, sir. You'll just have to enter it in no catch. In order for them to adjust the app, they have to take the entire thing down. So we don't want to have any downtime for our app. So we'll have to wait and correct that next year.
Brian wants to know if that's a redfish around your neck.
Yes, it certainly is. It is. It is a redfish tail.
From Anissa Jewelry?
It is Anissa Stewart, as well as the matching. So fellas, if you've got a lady's birthday who loves to fish, she has matching earrings. She has the redfish tail. She has snook. She also has the matching bracelet, as do I. So she is one of my favorite jewelry artists. I don't usually wear a lot of jewelry. I say, if you want to give me jewelry, give me a brand new rod and reel or a brand new gun. I am so much happier with that. But when it comes to Anissa's stuff, that's where you want to go.
Love her stuff. All right, Jim says, I'm curious how the random drawings will be done. I believe it's only one prize per angler. Will all the prizes for each division be drawn before the conservation division prizes? It's a good question, Jim.
Very good question, Jim. What we do is we start with the highest paying, if you want to put it that way. The divisions that have the biggest prizes, we go with those first. And then we draw. And if you are, let's say, you're drawn for your first place prize in the trout division, then you would not be able to win in any of the other divisions if you've submitted in them, except for the lionfish and the trash division. So if let's say, for instance, I choose you as a second place winner in the trout division. However, you entered fish in the snook division. And when I do the snook division drawing and you are drawn, Jim, for the first place prize in the snook division, you are then the first place prize winner in the snook division. And I will redraw the second place winner for the other division.
That is a good question. All right, everyone, that's a wrap for tonight's show. We hope you enjoyed tonight's episode. Remember, if you've missed any shows, you can locate them on our STAR Facebook page as well as our CCA Florida YouTube channel. Join us next week for another episode of Star Search. We're going to continue updating you throughout the competition. So let's hope we have a tagged redfish winner to share with you next week. So tune in and stick around with us for next Wednesday's episode. Also, remember to follow us on social media channels. We may even go live pretty soon while we're out in the water.
Well, thank you, Kenneth, and thank you, everyone, for tuning in this week's episode of Star Search and the Star Competition presented by Yamaha. Just remember, before we go to this, we have a lot of people in Texas and Louisiana who have some bad weather coming their way, and that's an understatement. Please keep them in your thoughts and prayers. Thank you for tuning in, and just remember, any fin is possible.